I trust you've all have an item or two of takeaways from our conference today. We've attempted to provide speakers with real-time issues to assist our daily lives. Rotary continues to support our clubs, which are the backbone of the organization, and through our relationships, we solve those issues which are of utmost importance. We have several district leaders here today who would like to share with us the work that's being done in the district. While stagnant in face-to-face gatherings, we are moving forward as we must. If you would, please welcome Avon Rotarian Speech Contest Chair, Pam Lyons. Pam?
Okay, first of all, just a heads up, when you call your district governor and push him to get a program going, you're probably going to be put in charge of that program. That's what happened when I reached out to Joe several months ago and said, please don't let another year go by without having our annual speech contest. And so thank you, Joe, for supporting our efforts and for encouraging clubs to participate. We did have 7 clubs step up and engage in our first ever district virtual speech contest. In addition to the top 3 winning clubs, Zionsville, Danville, Anderson, and Frankfort entered very talented student speakers in the competition. I recruited 3 judges who had experience in high school competition and in fact had competed in Rotary competitions back in their high school years. Kelly Gant was one of those judges, and she just happens to be the youth service chair of Rotary of Evergreen, Colorado. So we had a Rotarian on the judging panel. And then there was Rachel Rush, who is an IT specialist in Rockville, Maryland. And finally, Chad Sinclair, who is a legal assistant in San Francisco, California. So we had judges all over the United States. And they wanted me to share with all of you how appreciative they were to hear the passion and thoughts of these students on very inspiring and interesting topics. So now, for our top 3 winners, first, 3rd place went to the Greencastle Club representative, who won $500, and she is a junior at Greencastle High School, Maisha Rashid. 2nd place went to the Avon Club entry, a sophomore at Avon High School, Zanab Saeed, and she was awarded $750. And now, here is the recording of our 1st place winner of $1,000 from the Rotary Club of Indy, Westfield High School junior, Sabrina Richard.
Every kid should be handed a knife, a very sharp knife. Every kid should learn how to cook. A personal favorite quote from the late Julia Child: "No one is born a great cook. One learns by doing." No one is born a great mathematician. No one is born a great artist. No one is born great. One learns by doing, and school is the best place to learn. There are 4 main points as to why every kid should cook. As an appetizer, students can improve their management skills. For a salad course, they can utilize independence. As an entree, they can add to their educational career. And finally, for dessert, students can apply a better understanding of culture. Imagine, what could a student do if they could cook? First thing students can sharpen up on is their management skills, which includes time management, money management, and diet management. With evidence found in parts of the Child Development Institution, students who cook have better management than those who don't. Cooking helps students with time management by supervising the length of a recipe. Even if students aren't going into a professional career, they can still practice. Dinner's at 6 o'clock, recipe takes 20 minutes, start at 5:40. Cooking indirectly helps with money management and conscious spending. In a case study, consumers were given a budget to buy food. Those who cooked frequently saved more money than those who didn't. Another part of management that is encouraged by cooking is diet management. Recent statistics put 1 of every 6 children with having obesities. But by making every part and see what goes into the food we eat, a person is brought to reality of how eating affects their body. I'm not practicing management skills in the average English class or math class, but in the kitchen, I'm constantly using management and applying it in a real life setting. A lacking feature in recent generations is independence. Millennials, a generation that saw home ec get cut from their schools, have a trend of going back to their parents after college. I saw this firsthand after going on several campus tours. What universities considered a full dorm kitchen is only a counter space, a sink, a mini fridge, and a microwave. Not a whole lot going on there. When asked why there were no stoves, the response, freshmen can't cook, and they'll burn the place down. Incoming freshmen likely haven't taken home ec or cooking classes, and they have to rely solely on the school's meal plan. I was out shopping when I found a book. Recipes every college student should know, and the front of it looks like a pack of ramen. In this advanced cookbook made for 18 to 22-year-olds, it includes recipes like how to brew a pot of coffee, how to boil water. This speaks to a larger issue and one that Bullitt Central High School, based in Kentucky, is combating. They took the feedback from 3 recent graduating classes, and overwhelmingly, their alumni said, "I don't know how to adult." So the school blocked off a week of classes just before winter break, and they taught their students just that. This included things like how to change a tire, how to balance a checkbook, how to register to vote, and cooking. The students appreciated the classes because they were able to practice and utilize independence that would apply outside of school. This is something you can't put in a textbook. This is something that can be practiced and wielded in life. Independence and management are necessities for a person's future, but there is little regard to what we will and what we can do beyond high school and college. Eating and in correlation cooking are kinda needed to survive, but we're never taught it like we're taught science or social studies. What if we started teaching at a younger age? This brings me to my next point. Pursuing cooking at a young age has many educational benefits. According to extensions.org, an organization dedicated to adding job orientation programs to schools, students who cook have better memorization, especially in math. In the elementary level, the focus is on basic math, like telling time, temperature, fractions, conversions, and introductions to new foods would prevent picky eating. Middle schoolers could advance compared to elementary focus and apply problem solving and life skills in a real life setting. Huffington Post brings up a point about students who have read through recipes and worked through them have an easier time with word-oriented assignments. High schoolers could apply budgeting along with their knowledge of health, calorie counting, and portion control. This real-world application would help prepare students for life beyond the classroom. Finally, culture. It is always interesting to see what makes a menu, and this includes things like religion, geography, and socioeconomics. In a quote, Giada De Laurentiis says, "Food brings people together on so many levels. It is nourishment of the soul and body. It is truly love." Food allows insight into a daily life we would otherwise not comprehend. We can understand and relate to a culture by eating with them. Many times religion, geography, and socioeconomic reasons dictate a menu. For example, practicing Jews are discouraged from eating pork and shellfish, and strict Jews, known as Orthodox Jews, keep kosher, meaning that they do not eat meat and dairy in the same meal. Learning about this religion and being culturally sensitive when menu planning is important. Geography also often dictates an area's resources, and certain foods would appear in local menus. Italy benefits from biodiversity. When you think of Italian food, you can't help but think of tomatoes, olives, grapes, wheat for pasta, cheese, maybe hazelnuts, and of course seafood. All of this is because of their prime location on the Mediterranean Sea. At home, you don't find local lobster in central Indiana, but if I go to Boston, it's the first thing I'm ordering. Biodiversity also brings up a discussion about climate, ecology, and even my next part, economics. If we take French food and break it down into its basic form, all of it is either cheap cuts of meat heavily flavored with herbs and wine and stewed for several hours, or baked, chopped up vegetables. I just described boeuf bourguignon and ratatouille. These are dishes we consider high class and divine. We would only order them on a special occasion. But historically, it was the peasant population that created and survived off of them. Learning and understanding these elements of religion, geography, and economics may encourage students who want to experience and explore beyond the classroom. Maybe a kid will cut their finger. Maybe a kid will get burned in a hot pan. And maybe a kid gets tackled on a football field, and maybe a kid gets hit by a pitch. Or maybe a student will benefit from practicing management and independence. Maybe they'll have an improved educational career and cultural understanding. Maybe if schools required home ec and cooking classes, just as schools require PE and art, students will be better prepared for life beyond graduation. Maybe if a kid is handed a knife, a very sharp knife, maybe they'll fall in love with cooking. Maybe they'll be really good at it. And maybe, just maybe, they'll end up on the Food Network. Just like me. Thank you.
Here with you and your committee. I very much appreciate you following through, and you've done a wonderful job, and you've had some great judges. We're going to move on. Next speaker is a young man that is chairing our membership program this year, who's doing strategic planning. He's doing follow-up planning. He's just done a great job kicking us off the last couple of years. Bruce Watson, would you mind taking over and giving us a few pointers?
Unmute yourself, Bruce.
Okay, let me start over again. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
So as Joe said, my name is Bruce Watson, and I'm the district membership chair for District 6560. Many of you know me from membership strategy workshops that I've conducted in clubs around the district in the last couple of years. For those of you who have not met, as things are opening up, I look much looking forward to conducting live membership strategy workshops and catching up with the rest of the clubs in the district that have not received that program yet. Membership growth, as you know, was the focus of RI President Mark Maloney in 2018-19 with the theme of Grow Rotary. And this year, President Holger Knack, even though that wasn't his theme, it was a strong focus. Membership is a strong focus of his as well this year. The incoming president, RI President Shikhar Mehta, was also going to be making this a focal point of his term with his theme of each one, bring one. If we can accomplish his objective, we could double the size of Rotary. So we want to focus on membership again this year. Rotary's been losing members for the last 20 years. And in recent years, the US has lost a significantly greater percentage of those members than anywhere in the world. So it's critical that we turn this trend around. But we should be proud this year that in spite of COVID-19, District 6560 is the only district in Zone 30 that has achieved positive growth. This is a result of membership strategy workshops that have been conducted and clubs that have been pursuing membership using the strategies that were selected in those workshops, and with the formation of 3 new satellite clubs. And we want to thank Jeff Lake for heading up that effort. And actually there have been, if we count the prior year, there have been 4 of those satellite clubs that have been formed in the past 4 years or past couple of years. Zones 30 and 31 together developed this membership workshop, and it focuses both on attracting new members and on retaining existing members. The workshop provides the opportunities for club members to select 3 strategies from each of 2 lists of 12 strategies for the 2 different areas of focus. And from the strategies selected, the club members then agree on one strategy for attraction and one strategy for engagement. And once the strategies are agreed upon by the club members, the club then develops an action plan for each of those strategies, and they set a goal in each area of focus. And by engaging the entire club in the process, the two action plans become the membership focus for the next year or the upcoming year. These membership strategy workshops have been extremely well received by the clubs that have participated in them. They take a good 45 minutes or more, so it becomes the entire meeting with the exception of some very brief opening exercises that you would normally open your club meeting with. But it really requires the majority of that hour. So when I'll be contacting many of the clubs that have not received that program prior, and in the very near future, we'll try to set up dates to conduct a membership strategy program with you. And hopefully it will help you turn your focus on membership and help perhaps turn some of the losses that you may have incurred here in the last couple of years around. So I look forward to meeting many of you that I have not met in the recent past, and moving our membership goals forward in the upcoming year. Thank you very much. Look forward to meeting you. Thank you, Joe.
Bruce, thank you very much. I appreciate the update, and you're doing a great job, and truly I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Next, I would like to introduce Indianapolis Rotarian who's leading up the new club extension. Bruce mentioned him. They've been very active. Things are happening outside the realm of our 20-member plus club in the world of satellite clubs. So Jeff Lake, if you wouldn't mind, bring it on.
Sure. Thank you, District Governor Joe. In the conference of positivity, I want to give you two more positive things. These are both win-wins. The first win-win is our satellite clubs. It only takes 8 members, 8 people to start a satellite club. The win-win is that it's good for the club. It adds members to the host club because now they have a secondary club or an extension club that they can work with, do projects with, do grants with, special events, etc. So it truly is a win-win in all the cases we've seen. In addition to, as I mentioned in a minute, a lot of different things have happened with these clubs in terms of the kinds of people and different nationalities that have gotten involved with these clubs. So the satellite clubs are really a way to grow Rotary. And proven by what Bruce mentioned earlier, our district was the only one with net growth, and a lot of that had to do with satellite clubs. So I don't have a lot of time, so I'll make it quick. Satellite clubs, not that hard to start, takes 8 people. You need a champion for the satellite club, and you need full support of the host club. You know, once you have that, everything is on My Rotary. All the forms and everything you need to get started is on My Rotary. And Jennifer, I think, is going to put my contact information in the chat area, or a lot of you know how to get a hold of me anyway. So anything I can do to help any of you with satellite clubs, I'd be happy to do it. So real quickly, here's how it happened. Southport started a club around a core group, and these are the Chins. They're refugees and immigrants from Myanmar. And that was about 1.5 years ago. They grew to 21 members, and now they're a full-blown club. We have a club in the Northeast, and their core group was educators. Lafayette Daybreak had a different approach. They had 1 or 2 people that weren't necessarily happy with the day and time they were meeting, and they knew people who had left that also would want to meet at a different time. So they created the Greater Lafayette Satellite Club. And last but not least, we realized on the west side of Indianapolis, we have a gap. There used to be a club at Speedway many, many years ago. And so we looked at the west side and we talked to some people, and all of a sudden we have a member in our club who happens to be from Zimbabwe, who lives on the west side, in the exact area we wanted to work with, because there's an international zone over in that area where he works, where there are 50 and 60 different ethnic groups. So the 3 countries that are going to be involved here in this club as a core group on the new one are Zimbabwe, Zambia, and Malawi. So what we really like about this is we're creating clubs, satellite clubs, and hopefully full-blown clubs at some point that are more international, because we are Rotary International. So that's a quick update on satellite clubs. And one more thing we're looking at, and I kind of changed the title, Joe, a little bit. Took liberty. I like to call it the district chair for the creation of new clubs. But anyway, so what we're doing is we're considering starting county-wide, community-based Rotary clubs. In other words, Marion County has 6 clubs. Certainly we can find a way to put together a community-based Rotary club in Marion County, ages 18 to 30, Hamilton County, Hendricks County.
Yes, he's
You know, there are many counties that could do this. And so that's our second big goal for next year, is to try to create some countywide Rotary clubs. And I do want to thank Bruce for his help with me. And I've also, I think David Strand's on the call. David has helped me this year with satellite clubs, and he's also going to help me next year. And again, if anyone wants help in getting started, just contact me, please. Thank you.
Well, Jeff, thank you for all the efforts you're putting into this. People need to realize this is not a part-time job. He's full-time at this, and if anyone that has some interest in forming a satellite club or knows of others in the community, be sure and contact Jeff. He'd be more than willing to help you. Next on the agenda is Karma Rotarian and District Foundation Chair the past 6 years, Salim Najjar.
Thank you, Governor. This is my 6th and final year as District Rotary Foundation Chair. As I approach the final year of my tenure as the RFC, I can report that during the past 6 years, our District 6560 Rotarians have contributed over $1,700,000 to the annual fund. What this means is that our district received 50% of that amount, or over $850,000 in district designated funds. Our District Rotary Foundation team divided the $850,000 in half, awarding $425,000 to district grants, and another $425,000 went to support global grants. The district grants benefited many district clubs, among them many clubs which every year had made 2 or 3 applications, and most of them were approved. District grants of over 160 over the past 6 years are too numerous to list, but here's a sample. Food pantries, COVID relief, education programs, ramps for handicap, high school scholarships, healthy trails, public art, mental health, pediatric care clinic, shoes for students, women's shelter, wellness program, child's car seats, Habitat for Humanity, and the list goes on and on. On the global grants side, we match contributions to many global grants, too many to list, but among them, several heart-to-heart projects and wheelchairs to Mexico, Gift of Life Heart Surgery's vocational training team to Uganda, Jordan, and Lebanon, Water is Life, and more recently, a refugee camp in Uganda, among worthy humanitarian projects. So when we get to contribute to the annual fund of the Rotary Foundation, half of it comes back to support our local district grants and favorite global grants. You may ask, what happens to the half of our contributions that stayed in the World Fund of the Rotary Foundation? That amount, of course, was used to match our district and club contributions to global grants. So you see how every dollar we contribute is used to benefit a humanitarian project somewhere in the world. And when that happens, thousands of people whom you will never meet and who will never know you would still be thankful to you for improving their lives through your contributions to the Rotary Foundation. Here's the sad part. While many clubs are among the leaders in our district in terms of contributions to the foundation, more than half of our district members do not contribute a dime to the foundation, which is very sad. To my fellow Rotarians, chances are that if you are attending this virtual district conference, you are one of those Rotarians who contribute to the Rotary Foundation, and on behalf of the foundation, I want to thank you. However, when you are sharing your views with fellow Rotarians, impress on them the value of their contribution and how much it improves the lives of countless others. I can't wrap up here without paying tribute to my buddy, Steve Leonard, who chaired the district grant committee for those 6 years and who did a whale of a job. I thank you very much. I will close by showing my appreciation to the 6 governors that I worked with, starting with Mark Blade, Katie Smardo, Bryce Adam, Dale Basham, Chuck Shumate, and Joe Collings. Thank you all very much. Back to you, Joe.
Salim, thank you for the many years of service. Of course, you've done a wonderful job, and I'm always impressed when you provide the detail for us. Steve Leonard, the same way. Steve's done an outstanding job. He put the grants program together, our DDF program, and we're going to miss you. So again, thank you very much. Next on the agenda is a Zionsville Rotarian, a young man that's going to follow up with some discussion on how this affects our annual fund. And it's a direct impact of our Paul Harris Society. Rotarian Bing Pratt. Need to unmute.
Got it. Hi, I'm Bing Pratt. When I registered today, I didn't put my name in, so I finally put a name tag on here. Now it's backwards. But hi, I'm the Paul Harris Society Chair. And as you, I'm sure know, that's the people that give $1,000 a year to the Rotary International Foundation. And I'm happy to report that we're up in the numbers that we have. We've had 8 new members this year that have never given before. And we had 68 re-up. So we have a total of 74 members that give at least $1,000, and several give more than that. And yesterday I was talking to my guy that does our boats up at Wawasee, and he's heard of me talking about Rotary on occasion. So he said he will, even though he's not a Rotarian, he will make a $1,000 donation to our fund. So happy to report to that. There are about 28,000 Paul Harris Society members in the world, and we have a good number. What I'm doing right now is going through the whole list of everybody that has given the last 2 years, and then the ones before that, and I'm calling them personally. I think it's better to make a phone call and send a letter. I did that 1 year, and I got trouble with my arm. So anyway, and people with the COVID, people are really happy to have a phone call come to them and talk for a while. I've spent a lot of time, and it's fun, and get reacquainted with people. So that's my message. We've done well. We're ahead. 74 members that either this year have already given or have given last year, and a lot of those give monthly. So I expect those are going to move from one column to the other. So thank you for all you've done.
Bing, thank you. And I won't hold being a TWA alumnus against you, I promise. I'm going to move next to our youth exchange program. We have had a really rough year. We've not had a lot of participation the last couple of years, but this year it was canceled. And I would like for our youth exchange inbound coordinator, Joan McKinney, out of the club in Lafayette, excuse me. Joan, I apologize, to talk about the youth exchange program. Joanne?
Thank you. Well, first of all, let me start with a quiz for all of you. What do a veterinarian in Turkey, a staff assistant to Germany's Green Party representative in the EU, and a pediatrician in Mexico have in common? I'll tell you. Each one of these were Rotary Youth Exchange students in Central Indiana. In fact, all 3 of them stayed at my house at one time or another. So I'm telling you, Rotary Youth Exchange runs deep in our family and in my heart. Each of these students came to Indiana. They learned about our country and culture. They learned a language, especially the all-important differences between soda and pop. They learned that when we say, uh-huh, and no problem, in Indiana, we mean you're welcome. So they learned all kinds of nuances about our culture and about us while they were here. But what they really learned was a lot of independence. At the same time we accepted these inbound students, we also had outbound students. We sent our own Hoosiers to be ambassadors for us in small places and in large, representing their families, their schools, their culture, and the folks in Indiana, as well as Rotary. We were lucky to have all these kids, both sides. They bravely left their home schools, their home cities, and their families to spend a year in a Rotarian's home with Rotarians around the world, people they'd never met before. They bravely took that first step forward with their families. And I've always been very proud of all those kids. It's amazing to me. I don't want this program to die. We're kind of in hibernation right now, as you can imagine. This is a program of the US State Department, and we are subject to their rules. Obviously, with COVID-19, there are no folks having exchanges right now. Certainly through Rotary, there's too much risk involved. However, I think it's incredibly important that we keep an eye focused on the future. What are we going to do when this is over? And I will tell you that the work starts now. We need to start now preparing for 22-23 school year. And what that means, it starts with a club commitment. I would love to see more than 3 or 4 clubs this coming year commit to hosting students. It doesn't take a lot of effort, and we have a lot of infrastructure in place to help you. But it takes, first of all, a club president's commitment, getting on the schedule, putting something in your budget to be able to help with that. And we can give you all the details. And then finding schools and host families to be able to host. When our schools open back up here in Indiana, we will have a chance to open up this program again. We are geared toward and looking for 22-23 school year. So we need to start now. This fall, the work will begin in earnest as we start interviewing students to go outbound and to take the message of Rotary out to the world. When you look at the #1 goals of Rotary and you look at one of the top 7 things, it's peace and conflict, prevention and resolution. And I think this is such an important thing. And this program is one of those. Every time I hear about something going on in Turkey, I worry about my former son, my exchange student son, and I worry about him having to join the Turkish army soon and having to be a part of that. I can't imagine ever going to war or wanting to go to war against Turkey. The same thing with my Spanish son and my Mexican daughter and my German daughter. I think about all these things and how we've connected and how we will stay a part of each other's lives. I'm sure when the time comes, I'll be invited to weddings, fingers crossed, and be a part of those extensions of the family. And I just encourage, I go back to what Jeff Lake said a few minutes ago, a big part of what we do in Rotary is international and international peace. And I encourage all of you to really consider how your clubs can get involved in youth exchange and this very important program of bringing the world to Indiana and sending our ambassadors out to the world. So we look forward to it. Hopefully that we can get the ball rolling again and that the patience of the last 2 years doesn't let us lose the momentum that we've had leading up to this. So I appreciate all your help. Dan Laird is our district chair and I'm filling in for him today. And I appreciate all that you do and I know he does too. And we can tell you lots more about it when you're ready. So thank you very much. And here you go.
That was easy.
Thank you, Joanne. We're still having technical issues here. Can everybody hear me? Okay, great. And Joanne is from Muncie, not Lafayette. Bryce, you are next up. I'm so looking forward to seeing you again in person, but let us know what you had prepared for our district conference breakout session.
Hello, everyone. I am Bryce Adam and past district governor from the Noblesville Midday Rotary Club. Thank you for putting this on today, Joe. And Jennifer, I understand you're doing a great job. The technical challenges are the constant these days. But the selection of district governor nominee designate is a process that must be completed 2 years prior to the date that the district governor nominee designate takes office and may start no sooner than 3 years prior to that date. A fundamental principle of Rotary is that the best qualified candidate shall be selected for service in all elected offices. And District 6560 is pleased to announce that our district governor nomination for the 2023-24 year is Miss Jennifer Stanfield, member of the Crawfordsville Rotary Club. And we also had the opportunity to select past district governor Katie Smarto to serve as our 2021-2022 District 6560 vice governor, where she will help District Governor-elect Ray Cramp serve to change lives. The vice governor's responsibility is to replace District Governor Ray in case of temporary or permanent inability to perform district governor duties. The District 6560 nomination committee will be led by past District Governor Dale Basham for our next year. And it was a pleasure to serve as the nominating chairman and to be on the committee as a past governor. So there were no challenges, and I would submit that these two positions be certified by the business today. Thank you.
Bryce, thank you for the report. We have no opposition, so we have a unanimous ballot. Thank you very much. Sorry about that. I was kicked off Zoom just now, so we're struggling on this end. Ray Cramp, former Rotarian, the district governor-elect. Why don't you give us a few words of wisdom?
Thank you, Joe. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. Good afternoon, everyone. Our incoming Rotary International President, Shaker Mehta, encouraged us to think big and do big. He's also challenged each district governor-elect to be a change maker governor and to think about how Rotary will look in the future. If everyone can see my screen or not, but if not. So what does this mean to me? Emerging from the pandemic, we're perfectly poised to look at Rotary differently. We have been in a cocoon for over a year, working from home, homeschooling our children, ordering our groceries online, and so much more. Life has been very different for all of us and is changing by the day. But now we are ready to evolve and emerge from that cocoon and become that beautiful monarch butterfly that Jennifer Jones mentioned this morning, accepting our new, ever-changing world. I invite you to come on a journey with me and watch as the greatest volunteer organization in the world transforms and spreads its wings into the future. Are you with me to embrace change? I want to take a moment to share with you some goals for next year. If you can see my screen, Bruce earlier mentioned our membership goals. The theme next year is each one bring one. So we're asking every Rotarian to bring one new member to Rotary. The emerging clubs, Jeff talked about that. We're also looking at cause-based clubs and e-clubs. The foundation, we're asking everyone to think big and give from your heart.
7 minutes.
Shaker has also asked us to have a Rotary Day of Service, in which we're going to pull Rotary clubs and community members together to work on relevant projects in our communities. There'll be more about that to come. World Polio Day. In October of this year, I'm challenging every club in our district to do something to commemorate this important day and raise much needed funds for Polio Plus. Empowering girls. Another one of Shaker's initiatives is to empower girls to help them overcome the barriers for them to succeed and fulfill their dreams. I am working with DGEs within Zone 30 on an Empower Girls project that will focus on teaching girls about sex trafficking and ways to recognize it. And if you're interested in getting involved with that, please let me know. These next items on the list, conflict resolution, training, peace symposium, and diversity. When I went through my DG interview 2 years ago, two of my goals at that time was diversity and peace and conflict. Little did we all know how important and how of a priority that is today. So what I'm going to be conducting this year is some conflict resolution training to give us tools in how to deal with conflict. And we're also going to hold the first district's peace symposium in January. And lastly, diversity, equity, and inclusion. You heard a great presentation today from Dr. Jenkins. This is a very important and a high priority goal of Rotary next year. I have developed in working on a diversity, equity, and inclusion task force, which I'm thankful for past District Governor Dale Basham and our soon to be District Governor-elect Mickey McAllen, who will be leading that initiative. We are not a pilot program, but we're one of the first districts in the country to start this task force at the district level, and we'll be working closely with RI as this rolls out. Finally, you heard from Floyd early this morning. He was point on everything he said about our future, and I couldn't state it any better than how he presented this morning. But finally, I want to let you know I'm honored to serve as your district governor, and I'm here to help you. And our team, the district team, is here to help you and support you and help you to succeed. And I look forward to meeting as many of you next year as I can. So thank you very much, and back to you, Joe.
Ray, thank you. Some great insight, and I look forward to seeing it this upcoming year. Thank you very much. We've got all have the opportunity from time to time to provide an appreciation for what has happened throughout the year. And I'm going to do the same thing this year and provide a few district awards during the conference. My first award will be the Robert Shoemaker Thomas Branham Award for service to Rotary. This Rotarian has been a steadfast contributor, is present and willing to help in so many ways. For instance, Land O'Lincoln Pets, our district mid-year conference. She currently chairs the annual fund and is the assistant governor coordinator. She also is the annual fund chair and Crawfordsville Rotarian district governor nominee elect, Jennifer Stanfield. Jennifer, come in. I've got a little something for you. Please accept this as the gratitude of the district.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now back to the slides.
Second in the award of many is the Robert Shoemaker Thomas Branham Award as well. And this awardee has provided hours of service, club strategic planning, followed up with a 3 to 5 year implementation with his clubs. He regularly works with the new club extension to gain momentum in membership. Please welcome Westfield Rotarian and membership chair, Bruce Watson. Bruce, congratulations. Assistant Governor of the Year. This Assistant Governor has offered his expertise to all of his clubs. He regularly meets not only with the clubs weekly, but has a great record of meeting with his assigned clubs anytime possible. He's a regular contributor to our monthly Assistant Governor Council meetings and is enthusiastically supportive and provides service. Lafayette Daybreak Rotarian Assistant Governor David Strand. David, congratulations. Thank you for your service.
Thank you so much.
Awarding a Distinguished Service Award. This Rotarian has provided years of service to our district. He's provided counsel and understanding. He's served in many different roles within the district, effectively as many different chairs of committees, group study exchange team leader, chairman of our district foundation, 2010, 2011 district governor, and foundation chair this year. My friend Salim Najjar. Salim, congratulations and thank you for your 6 years of service, most recently in the foundation.
Thank you, Joe.
I'd like to award the Rotary Club of the Year Small Division to a Rotary Club that began as a satellite club within our district. In the fall of 2020, this club membership had met the requirements for a full Rotary Club and was presented with its club charter. The past few months, club members have been very active within the community. Most recently, the club is monitoring activity of the military, which overthrown the government in their homeland of Myanmar. Their civil disobedience, again, has been captured by the media recently. I'm going to award this to District 6560 newest club, the Rotary Club of Southport International, John Fong Mong, President. I'll be seeing them in the near future with some other endeavors, and I'd like to congratulate them as well. The Rotary Club of the Year large category. I've observed this club this past year and have been impressed with the organizational structure through. Numerous club activities are run concurrently and are balanced with great participation. The new club member orientation takes a front seat, providing information to its new members. Their social, civic, and service projects are well organized, well attended, and follow the tenets we all hold so dear. This year's Rotary Club of the Year large category is the Rotary Club of Indianapolis, President Nick Wright. Thank you very much, Nick. The District Rotarian of the Year is an honor we hold near and dear. This category is providing the district with many hours of service, participation in our events, and counsel along the way. This Rotarian has provided those many, many hours of counsel. He's a very active member of a large Rotary club. He was instrumental in the initiation of this satellite club and is a member of its current board of directors. In the fall of 2020, the club's membership grew to allow the application of the Rotary International Charter, that being the Rotary Club of Southport International. Indianapolis Rotarian, Assistant Governor and Chair of our new club extension, Jeff Lake, thank you very much.
Thank you, Joe.
In closing, I trust you have all enjoyed the conference. We've had dynamic speakers, news from a Rotary International Director, and events happening throughout the district. It's an honor serving as your district governor this year, and I look forward to seeing you soon in your fundraising, civic, and social events. Please know I trust you placed in me is so greatly appreciated. I thank you. It's been a pleasure. This ends our conference and our breakout session.
Memorial slide.
If the past district governors would please stay on the call, past district governor Charles Shoemate would like to have a past district governor's council.
The memorials.
Yeah, pardon me. Jennifer mentioned we're going to have a quick memorial service. I apologize for those members in our district who we've lost this past year. Please hold on. What a fitting tribute to end our conference. Chris Harrison, thank you very much for putting this together. Very much appreciated. If no one has anything, I would like the past district governors to stay on. Past district governor Shoemate would like to have a short meeting, and we'll conclude this one. Thank you all.
Great conference.